had barely won any drafts.
Atlus,
This is terrifying.
DragonX win this game, T1 must have played so terribly in the early and mid stages.
Oh, DragonX are going to need to get the most ridiculous snowball ever in this game.
This is unholy level of badness here.
Hey, it's also an unholy level of goodness. If
Yeah,
you look
it is
over the
actually.
other side.
So this is actually Sinners versus Saints, and the hue on next to the LCK symbol, it's a little bit off. The Jedi on the other side.
Yeah, just a little bit.
DragonX are
change of profile.
absolutely the Siths.
Mm-hmm.
As here we have Rakan and Xayah down there in the bottom lane, Rumble in mid lane, Jarvan 4 in the jungle, and then Darth Sett up there in top lane.
Well, we'll see whether they are going to be Sinners on the Rift or not. At least this game is a game where you can build the book.
This is a game where you can build the book.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that. You're against a Soraka. She wants to, in combat, heal you. That being said, it doesn't do that much because you can also disengage with a whole bunch of the options that T1 has, and then you're not going to be hit by that healing reduction, and you can just heal everyone up just fine. This is a beautiful draft out of T1. DragonX playing very fast and loose in the early stages if they have any hope to win this one. Let's see whether they do. Because this composition can be piloted well. It's not like it's impossible to win with the champions DragonX has. It's just that T1 should have the answers required.
And so, the way that DragonX ends up winning this is if somehow the Xayah and the Rumble get so far ahead that their damage is just impossible for T1 to realistically tank, and then also too difficult for Canna to heal through. And so the top lane dynamic is Sett can't really kill the Soraka ever. Also, I think Doran took the wrong rune.
Interesting.
He has fleet footwork on Sett.
That's an odd one. All right. Got some tenacity there as well.
Has the tenacity, has the second wind for all of the sustain, but Sett can't win the lane against Soraka. And so whenever Soraka can just, well, also she has Scorch, which is pretty bad because Soraka can't realistically kill Sett either. But normally whenever Soraka ends up going even, it's a big win for Soraka.
Yeah.
Because she does so much more than her counterpart. It's sort of like the old Nunu prior to his rework, where Nunu's job was to make you as useless as he was.
Yeah.
And then his uselessness was a little bit more valuable.
The idea is to bring you down to his level. Yep.
So in that regard, everything's going to be fine. Also, Scorch on Faker, so honestly, or Scorch on Chovy, I'm sorry. So extremely mono-red for DragonX.
Well, I mean, Glacial Storm isn't necessarily what you want if you're DragonX, because theoretically they've lost if it makes it past, 30 minutes anyway.
Well, we'll see what can end up happening here. A lot of pressure actually on Pyosik with the lane, with the way that all of these lanes are set up.
And not a lot of pressure on Cuzz, who's on a champion that does really like to get to work, farming and counter jungling.
Yeah, he's allowed to permanently farm, but Jarvan doesn't have the same luxury. And you can just see this. This is a dynamic that I like to talk about all the time as Teddy and Effort.
For a level 3 gank.
Yeah, this is the only timing where Teddy and Effort can actually die. He's going to EQ down, and they don't know. So,
oh, when
this
the
is
ward
really
just
good.
Died, yeah. He's just waiting for that EQ cooldown. Teddy and Effort can sense that there's something up.
Yeah, and the wave's coming in. And because there's such a surplus of spellcaster minions, they're actually not losing any minions, so they're not being denied XP or gold. Pyosik is coin flipping.
Well, Teddy gonna get black shielded. That's a lot of damage, but not enough. Teddy's just gonna walk on out of there. Black shield really worth its revenue at this point.
This game is really, really rough right now for Pyosik. He is down so much compared to Olaf. Now, he's going to manage to get the right-hand side Scuttlecrab, but the sequence of events is now he's sort of pinched where he can't just go to his Raptors or his Krugs because it would end up making his route really bad. He's going to run through mid lane, utilizing Chovy's priority to try to get to the left-hand side Crab, which he knows that Cuzz hasn't started. And so, Cuzz is now working on his full clear yet again, whereas both Crabs, they do go to
Faker.
Pyosik. Oh,
Possible solo kill, but Chovy not going to flash after him. Maybe just calculated by Faker just to make sure that, you know, he's maximizing. No, not going to happen. It's Faker. They continue around here. Chovy looking to try and put on some pressure as he walks up to get some vision down. Here for DragonX. Faker deals with that wave and will now go back home. Does, of course, have the unsealed spellbook and a teleport sitting on top of himself already. So he's going to go back, but you can see Cuzz is going to be spotted throughout the rest of this route. We'll see whether that means that DragonX can find some ins around the rest of this map. As Doran hasn't actually been dissuaded from farming at this stage.
and I mean, the thing about this is, again, Soraka not really poking him all that much. He has the Doran shield, he has second wind, and with the fleet footwork, you're just not going to be able to accomplish anything.
Yeah.
And so Doran actually not electing to pull the wave into him, which is really surprising, given that after this Infernal Dragon, Pyosik would be pathing top lane, which is just the only way that you're going to probably end up being able to kill Soraka is by trying to freeze in front of your turret and then having the Jarvan come in and get a kill. But as we can see here, Cuzz, he has just full cleared his jungle 2 times over. Meanwhile, Pyosik sitting on the Jarvan does pick up an Infernal Dragon for his team.
You can see Deft has been going to LS's school of building items. He went back, got himself a cull, and now is on his way towards his Essence Reaver. Should gather him some extra money at basically the right time. Of course, you want to get to 2 items, and by that stage, you probably should have killed at least 100 minions. So we'll have a bit of extra money in the back pocket then. Some Tormented Soil coming down here, which I don't believe is called Tormented Soil anymore.
I believe it is.
Rework? Are you sure?
Yeah, I think it is. I'll check for you, Alice.
You can double
Don't worry
check
about that.
No,
I get
it's
it.
my boomer
you know.
memory that's it's a bit of an issue here when it
No
comes
big
to
deal.
Morgana.
You know, I mean, we're just casters.
Yeah, you don't need to know every single ability name.
Well,
And
especially
of course,
not.
You know, you may as well not know it if you already know one of them. And what
Alice,
it
I
used
want you to
be.
tell me Aphelios' third gun, range, color,
The
what it
third-
does.
What do you mean? What's the third gun? Can you
whatever
give
he
me a
starts the
color?
game with. No.
It's random. The third gun's always random. It's not going to be Caliber or Seven, most likely.
Tormented Shadow.
Yeah, see? It's not Soil anymore.
Really
But
looks
to be
like
honest,
Shadow
you're supposed to
me.
just call it a puddle. Let's be real.
You know,
As Doran actually got snared there. Might get chased down by Canna. Nope. He's just going to make it out. This was Doran just trying to clear out the minion wave. He walks around the
And so-
alcove to hide this one out. Okay.
this is one of the really exciting things that I want to actually talk about is we can see Soraka's HP is permanently healthy in this matchup.
Yep.
She's never really in any danger.
Oh, Cuzz is going
Oh,
to spot Pyosik.
man. Yeah,
He
he's
needs
dead.
to flash.
What?
Oh, Cuzz actually didn't flash after him. DragonX, the bottom lane was moving back here as Chovy possibly in trouble. Flashes to get out of the way and misses both harpoons. Faker taking a few burns on the back end there, but trading an ult for a flash is something you'll do every day of the week.
And now
Cuzz makes his way in.
Cuzz is actually coming into mid lane and sharing XP with Faker, which is a little bit surprising. But gonna end up granting Faker the recall. And I was just so surprised he didn't actually chase after Pyosik,
Yeah.
which is very peculiar.
Maybe the lane state bottom lane just wasn't enough. Got the call not to do it.
Well,
Don't mind reserved players. Now Teddy going to get snared up there. The Black Shield comes in answer to the grand entrance. I like that a lot. Certainly the most dangerous CC out of this combo. As topside, we do have another ward on that Krug camp, so Doran's staying much safer than a lot of top laners have been. Keeping an eye on Cuzz has been the aim of the game here for DragonX, and so far it's worked out.
well,
Not a lot of mana here on
Herald
Teddy.
being started right now. And even if you're a DragonX fan and you look at all of the lanes and how everything's going, this is not an ideal game state. They need to be ahead of their opponents. Yes, they have an Infernal Dragon, but it is a shadow of its former self, currently only giving 4% amplification. Keria coming over along with Chovy.
Yeah,
Try to help
gonna
get
roam
this
on
Herald.
through. They will be able to grab the Herald, so that will allow them to get a bit of this early lead that they need. But so far you can see T1 are actually 100 gold ahead, which is exactly where they want to be sitting at this stage.
And Faker just playing ping pong in mid lane with the Rumble. Not really trying to actively achieve anything, doesn't have an obligation to, not required to really win this game. Abyssal Mask going to be the first item for him. Obviously, Obsidian Cleaver probably going to be the upgrade for Cuzz. Redemption or Death Cap for Canna, most likely going to be Redemption.
Yep.
And then Misfortune down there in bot lane likely will have the Molten Edge end up coming in later. And the scaling for T1 is just absolutely ginormous. And if you are a T1 fan, what you're hoping gets rolled is a Mountain Drake.
Oh, absolutely.
And also, do you think Doran is... Do you think he's going to sin and build a
Oh,
Black
well, I mean,
Cleaver?
they've already started sinning a lot.
Oh, they are honestly
So,
7 layers deep.
Yeah. That being said, I feel like Fleet Footwork and Trinity Force feels like a good combo. I don't know. Maybe he'll surprise us.
We'll see what's going on here as Fiendish Codex picks up first by Soraka. Now, okay.
That's a bullet time. Deft just up in the air. Pull back some feathers most likely as Cuzz is going to make his way down, but spotted on a control ward. Do DRX actually have any options here as the dive is likely? Pyosik not too far away. There's nice dark binding there from Effort as Keria tries to dive onto Teddy, but once again it's a great black shield. And that ward around the corner is just superb. From T1 as Cuzz is going to move in. Pyosik doesn't need to flag and drag in order to get out. As Cataclysm, just to start this one off, Keria looks for the Quill. There's the knock-up. Cuzz is going to get knocked up as well as Deft looking to try and get into position, but Teddy is there. Ragnarok, is it going to be enough? Good God, the Wish is just insane amounts of healing. As Doran, the Black Shield is going to stop you from doing that, buddy, and DragonX cannot find anything.
DragonX can't find a kill right there, and that's a pretty heavy commitment by them. Even if you look at it as if they end up winning the Ocean Dragon, don't forget that Soraka's getting solo XP up in top lane as well as the CS, Cuzz.
Yep, Doran, not a lot that he can do there. Facebreaker does come in, but the Ornn flying towards Chovy. Still without his flash as Faker has to flash on top of him. Doesn't find the Searing Charge as Effort gets underneath the turret. Takes a couple of shots, but is going to survive. With about 100 health, and now we're 2-0 in favor of the scaling team. Bad news Bears if you're a DRX fan.
It's a super bad news Bears. Faker comes down there in bot lane. Gonna manage to repel Deft and Keria.
Oh, great Bellows Breath there to deny the grand entrance. Deft gets a little bit of damage back, and Canna remains towards the top side. Everything went to hell in a handbasket for DRX in a matter of seconds.
And honestly, this game just feels really doomed right now if you're a DRX fan. The series of events that needed to unfold within the first 10-14 minutes just didn't. And I really wish I had one of those kitchen stop timer things that I could have just set at the start of this game. Because the oven's on fire right now in this game. As we can see, they end up trying to kill Olaf right here. Teleport coming in from Sett, running away. Doran flashes, presses the R, but because of the Black Shield working as intended, doesn't end up getting any kills. Chovy coming over trying to manage things, but then Doran starts the Ocean Dragon. That's not a victory. You needed to get out and get back to top lane. He gets snared up. Haymaker on cooldown. Chovy comes over saying, why did you just do that?
Yeah, and actually gets Chovy killed as well. I mean, Fakey uses his flash, so I guess there's that. But still, just not the kind of play that you wanted and not the foot that you want to start off this match on if you are DRX. They already had a tough task ahead of them. Looks like it's only getting more and more difficult. However, plates were eaten by Deft. He still has a decent lead there towards the bottom side, almost 20 CS. And we're getting towards that burning face, the Leandries for Chovy. Doran has his Black Cleaver. Oh god.
Yeah, well, that's not a beautiful item. Honestly, I mean, my ideal scenario is that you take the cleaver and slice the book in half.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense. The thing I wanted to talk about a little bit earlier is we just actually had patch 10.4 come out yesterday. And in the patch, Soraka's self-healing got cut. And so a lot of people are probably thinking that Soraka will disappear from competitive, but her heals got increased. So counter matchup Soraka, like the one that we're seeing here today, Soraka versus Sett, is now actually going to be better in the future patch. And so Soraka versus Ornn, Soraka versus Sett, Soraka versus Aatrox, those are all going to be better matchups for her. And so we got a lot of Soraka that's still going to be on the table.
And I like the idea that she is still a pick that you can pick into certain things, right? I don't like it when a champion is just always better than everything else. That's not healthy. But if there's certain moments to play every champion, then you've got an ideal version of League of Legends, in my opinion.
I mean, we're in the League of Ornn right now.
We are.
That is something that's going on. We haven't seen him in jungle, which, surprisingly enough, we've seen a lot of Sejuani picks, but Ornn is just, he's a better Sejuani in every single facet, and it's so surprising. People have not picked him up there yet.
A lot of junglers, of course, have put in a lot of time on Sejuani, so I guess you don't need to practice as much. That being said, Jungle Ornn, all you have to do is watch LS's stream. Drop him a Twitch Prime, and you'll learn all about Jungle Ornn. That's how that one works.
True. Oh, man.
Well, we've got Shirley. She's available. Currently being taken by DragonX, who have evened out the gold once again. Even gold, not what they want. First turret, certainly contributing to that a lot, as Keria looking for his moment to try and engage. Morgana certainly ruining his day, though, as Cuzz not going to be able to steal this one. But in comes Faker from the flank, looks in the knockup, gets it onto only Pyosik, who is going to be his target. The Haymaker flies onto Cuzz as Pyosik goes golden. There's the wish, as Cuzz not going to get knocked up. Oh, eventually does, but Pyosik falls down. He's the first kill, but MF is also dead. A giant Haymaker into the backline, as it's a double kill for Deft. Keria still darting after the T1 members. And Chovy wanting to get in over the side. The triple kill, hand-delivered by Chovy's harpoon. And this game just got interesting.
This game did just get interesting because all of the gold allocation located on the Xayah, who's the one champion who can dish out enough fast, consistent damage to try to bring down the T1 members before Soraka just keeps them alive and basically says, you shall not depart this world today.
Yep.
As
Deft, just the dark messiah for this composition right now.
Well, just take a look at this Deft. Not really doing anything at the very start, but eventually gets back into it as Olaf doing Olaf things, running in an opponent, doing nothing, and then eventually dying.
Well, a lot of it was that equalizer onto 3 members of T1.
This was honestly a very nice team effort by DragonX, the equalizer, as well as Deft just cleaning up everyone.
In fact, he basically stole from Chovy almost every single time. But that's exactly what they wanted, right? Deft now has room in his build to pick up that Executioner's Calling after his next BF sword. He has the Essence Reaver completed. That buy that he just went back with was gigantic. And you can see it represented in the bounty on his head as well. So it's a very scary Xayah moving into the mid-game, and that is what DragonX needed. Whether they have enough of a lead is the really big question here. Is now Mountain Drake going to be available in 19 seconds. T1, remember, did take the Ocean, so that's just even better news for them. DragonX would have wanted to move towards a Dragon Soul as early as possible in this game.
Yeah. And with T1 now being able to stare down the Mountain Drake, that is just so big for all of their champions because they all build resistances at some point. So you can end up stacking up 3, getting 18% amplification. It's going to be quite nice.
That Undertow didn't quite work out.
Okay. This is the team fight that realistically T1 should win.
There's the
have no
Featherstorm.
idea what that
taking a bit of damage.
Ornn was.
It's trading for the Featherstorm, I guess.
Oh, okay.
There's a world where that is going to work out. Flash still available for Deft, though, so he's still going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, they got him!
That is not what you want! And that is going to be the kill going over to Canna. The beginning of the fight was a disaster, but the end, so good. And T1 should be able to just clean this one up. Chovy trying to burn down Cuzz, but it's not going to be enough. The Ragnarok working out, and this time he'll flash after it. Okay, dodge the Undertow and you win the fight, but it's just not going to happen. Chovy.
What an obnoxious champion.
Sidesteps, there's the Undertow. Picks up the kill in the end. And Keria, he's just respawned, but otherwise, it's only Doran remaining.
Dude, Rumble's suit is made out of like Nokia phones or something. I have no idea.
So hard to break it.
Oh my god.
It's a 3310. We gotta rename the skin.
Well, now they're gonna pick up the Mountain Dragon. And just look at the amount of resistances on the side of T1. You have the
We're
Abyssal
hovering
Mass.
the wrong champion,
Yeah.
but we got 4 armor. As Keria looks for him, but Ragnarok back off cooldown actually. As Chovy's teleported in, Ornn has been rang. As we don't have the equalizer available just yet. Faker, flash, searing charge, gets out. 5 members of DragonX now here on the bottom side. Keria getting the vision down. Faker has to cancel the back, and they will be able to take this inner turret. While Teddy's off, grabbing his red buff. Pyosik's pushing in the mid lane. DragonX still fighting in this one, and of course the gold lead isn't anything at this moment, but Deft.
Yeah. I mean, he had flash available.
That was just a great prediction as to where he was going to sidestep, because of course he did go into Fog of War. There was control vision for DragonX, but effort just with the perfect Dark Binding placement.
Oh, it's giving us another look at this Nokia phone.
Yeah. He's trying to throw it off buildings and stuff like that.
That's not an iPhone right there.
Nope. They just don't build them like they used to.
Yeah.
Because eventually you break it. But I mean, if you drop it enough times, it is going to break. I remember I had a Nokia 3310. I was giving away my age just a little bit. I hit it with a baseball bat, and all that happened was the case came off, and then I just put it back together, and it was totally fine.
That's great.
Yeah, my friend threw it to me. I was like,
very durable.
here, let's just experiment and see, like, because it was at the end of its tether, you know? I was about to get a new phone. So I was like, let's test the theory. That didn't break it. I kept it after that for an extra 3 months.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
You know what else is nice in this game? Is the Spirit Visage picked up by Cuzz to amplify the Soraka heals.
Yeah. I mean,
that's really good
Canna
itemization.
is probably going to pick that one up for himself as well. Certainly what we've been seeing a lot.
Already at 2 items. Little surprise, Faker. Gonna probably end up upgrading the Redemption, given that Cuzz did not go for an Ornn item yet. And then on the flip side for DRX, you can see that their champions are pretty much they're done scaling. You have the Stone Plate on Jarvan. He's not going to pick up any future items that's really going to change how he conducts himself in a fight or the damage that he deals. And then you have Dead Man's Plate being picked up on Doran, but if the enemy is on top of you, they're probably not trying to run from you anyway. Yeah. And so the Sett is done scaling as well. The only real hope
going to get
is the Xayah and the Rumble. Rumble going to need to pick up a Morellonomicon.
And avoid stuff.
And avoid staff, so his build is going to be very heavy. And T1, a little bit bizarre, Faker opting for the Iceborne. It's just worse than Sunfire Cape upgrade, especially because you end up getting the Kindle Gem next anyway. You have Cosmic Insight. And then the difference between 33% CDR in mid-game compared to 45.
Well, there's the Cataclysm. Effort in a little bit of trouble, but Pyosik's the one that has to flash away as Faker teleports in and blows the horn, but he's going to be denied the recast as Pyosik limps out of the fight. DragonX, they do disengage successfully. Teleport in hand from the mid laner of T1.
Deft about to be at 2 items. Not quite sure when it's going to end up coming in, but if you're T1, this is very akin to that Kespa Cup game that they ended up throwing, where they're coasting into the best dragon outside of Ocean that they could possibly hope for a soul for. So Ocean and then Mountain would be the best 2 souls that the T1 team composition could realistically get, and they're in such a commanding position in this game. Salvation now picked up by Canna.
Yeah.
As it's continuing
starting to go out. We've got the Molten Edge very soon to be divvied out to Teddy as well.
And then Zanya's Paradox.
Oh, wow, and Chovy has recognized the Mountain Drake issue and has gone second item Void Staff. So, I like it too, but the drop, absolute sinning, and then he makes like a beautiful decision here with his first 2 items. On
Chovy
time
is
with Deft's Infinity Edge?
Kylo Ren. Okay.
Yeah, you know, you love him, but he's on the wrong side.
Until.
Yeah, well, we're not giving away any spoilers. Pyosik goes for the engage. It's not what he wants. There's the turnaround onto Cuzz. But look at the heal. It is just bonkers. Haymaker doing some work there, gathering the grid up, and in goes Keria. Interrupts Teddy as much as he can. As now Faker is tanking the entirety of who's left on DragonX. Oh, the Blade Caller though. Doran once again flying forward, but Effort controlling the fight. The Black Shields are so good. And the Soul Shackles were amazing. No way that Deft could get into a position to actually auto effectively. It's only 2 dead. Because Pyosik did make it back to base, but T1 now have another Mountain Drake to go and collect with Soul Point to thread.
Well, T1 gonna get a lot of stats here as well for free, just because of the way that all their champions are itemized. And honestly, given that it's the Mountain Drake stack, I really wouldn't mind for Teddy to just pick up a defensive item, whether it be Guardian Angel or just pick up the Ball of Malmortius or something.
Yeah, find some extra stats to help you scale.
Yeah.
That
or
wish did
EHP.
so much work.
This team fight, you can see how close they can get so many of the members, but Soraka just will not let people pass.
And also, like...
Doctors hate her.
Yeah, they do. I mean, she is the doctor in a lot of cases.
She is something. She is honestly something else, so...
Well, now you've got Chovy thinking, well, I guess I will need to build that Forbidden Book. He gets the instruction manual.
They needed
right
it.
There.
I actually think that they needed it before Void Staff, just so that the teammates that Chovy has could actually deal more damage.
Yeah, and you can so reliably apply
Or
it as the Rumble. That being said, I mean, T1 then, they just use their abilities to disengage, and then they can heal up anyway, no problem. Yeah. Like, there's a lot more issues.
I think Faker is building Stoneplate third on Ornn.
Interesting.
Personally, not a big fan. Locket of the Iron Solari provides so much more value because the shield goes out across everyone. And when someone sees that Ornn has Stoneplated, they stop hitting him.
Yeah, and also you're going to be helping the entirety of your team fight exactly the way you want to fight with this composition.
Correct. So, it's a very popular item, but I think it's very akin to some other itemization errors that some people can end up having. And yeah, Ardent Sensor picked up. That's a lot of value for the Olaf and the Misfortune.
Yeah, and any amplification for Teddy is a great thing here for T1 because he is largely their damage contribution this game. It's a very defensive Olaf this time around with only a warrior and gen as far as damage stats.
And
here goes the Ornn. Faker finds one knock-up, but the Featherstorm there from Deft will keep him alive. But look at this. Cuzz is just so durable. All of the heals in there. The grid is fantastic, though, as there's the equalizer. Perfect positioning for DragonX as the bullet time flies out, but Teddy is now dead. Pyosik now trying to run away, but Deft also fell down. Now 3 versus 3 is Chovy looking for Canna. Oh, the barrier. Gonna save their lives. It's an even trade in the end as Canna is so close to falling, but he didn't. DragonX do walk away. That was ideal positioning for DragonX, but they still couldn't win the fight.
And this is where things just start feeling hopeless. Because you know that the longer the game goes, the better the items and scaling for T1 continues to get. So if you can't win these dream scenarios, how can you win anything? Faker getting the Xayah ultimate out with that Ornn ultimate, Cuzz just getting forced to turn around immediately, but then started getting healed. Sett did so much in this team fight. Cataclysm and the Rumble came out. This is
just perfect.
A dream.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't matter. That damn unicorn.
And Cuzz he's got full health now. He took so much damage in that last fight. It's just with the amount of healing that Canna had available to himself. Like, oh my goodness. Just insane. Well, we've now got Doran. He's grabbed himself an Executioner's Calling as well. We were actually having a conversation about, Trinity Force versus Black Cleaver.
Yes.
If you can land face breakers like that, I mean, you're optimizing that Black Cleaver like you would not believe.
If you have a lot more physical damage on your team, but Jarvan in this instance is full-on tank, so Cinderhulk dealing magical damage. He's dealing some physical, but because of the Mountain Dragons, because of the way that T1's actually itemizing, I don't know the exact math, but I would imagine that this actually maybe is a pretty fringe case for Black Cleaver, given especially that you need Deft to do so much in this game.
Well, Cuzz getting burnt down. Spooky ghosts fly forward.
Yeah, he'll be full in a second.
Yeah, he will.
There
just gonna
we
donate.
go.
Just 1, 2, 3,
I
4.
love it. That's the holy water that you bathe in.
Well, I mean,
by the way,
that's what I'm saying. It's looking pretty good. That's just one. Okay. We really want Chovy to go back home and then complete that Morellonomicon that he's so close to as Faker gets pulled back, but probably wants this positioning. Dark Binding flying through as we've got the K-Ramp well and truly upon us.
Yeah, we got the K-Ramp.
It's not a river ramp just yet.
Not yet, but it should be soon as Mountain Soul is up. I think Faker's going to do the same thing again. He's going to try to get the Xayah ultimate out with an R, but...
Facebreaker on cooldown as Faker takes it as a chance to engage. Looks for the double knockup and gets it, but Deft still able to kite. As in goes Doran, gets the Facebreaker onto Teddy. A lot of damage, but can he actually get any work done as Teddy flashes out of the way of Keria's grand entrance? He's not going to fall just yet, but the health bars don't go back up
Soraka
on
didn't even R yet.
DragonX's side.
Yeah.
T1s seem to just refill on a whim. And it's just not even difficult anymore.
No. The scaling is online. There's nothing DragonX can do at this point. And so we knew that the first 10 minutes were going to be really crucial. And even though there was that Hail Mary Rift Herald team fight, it's just not enough. You could have that happen 3 times. You could raise all of the inner turrets. If you're DragonX, you will still lose 25 minutes plus almost every single team fight, assuming even skill level between the teams. And I'm really happy to always see Soraka pop off like this because she is a hyper. She's showing it here. Says, I'm going to go for the ult, I'm going to go for the ult. Go in front. Not saying anything else right now. Soraka still hadn't R'd yet. We win.
Yeah.
Do Dragon first. Yung 먼저. Yeah, do Dragon first.
And having a look at the scores here, Ornn is unkillable, Soraka's unkillable, Cuzz looks absolutely unkillable. Also has the Forge Fire cape as well, and with Warrior Enchant, he was allowed to do that. Can have the ornament added to it. 31,000 damage taken from the Olaf, who now just gets given a better cape because he deserves it after taking a beating like that. Okay. Well, I'm going to say that Pyosik avoided that Dark Binding, that effort just straight up missed. But now there is a Baron buff heading towards DragonX's base. And if I was them, I just wouldn't have any idea of what to do next. Maybe open a fight with an equalizer so you can at least get some of this Morellonomicon spread it around.
You just look at the shields on all the members, and then also Soraka just does so much. I love it, Atlus. I love it so much.
Oh, the unfun.
Do you feel the anger in DragonX right now?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, man.
Oh, we got Bloodthirster completed here for Deft. He's got 3 items now, but I just don't know whether it's going to be enough.
Oh, man.
No attack speed just yet for him as well, just each auto doing a lot of damage. Keria looking for a moment, but that's a flash from Pyosik. He wanted to put Teddy in a cage. No one puts Teddy in a cage. Or in the corner. Even the harpoons aren't landing anymore, Faker. He can blow the horn anytime he likes. The Haymaker now on cooldown. Keria has that little shield.
You know what?
Faker, that was a cute knocker.
You know what DRX is saying right now, Atlus?
Go next.
No, they're saying that they feel really terrible whenever they look at that smug unicorn's face.
At least she has a glorious skin. That's a great skin. You can get that from the Riot store for a certain amount of Riot points as well if you want to, as Cuzz. It's pulled back by Doran, but that's not the Facebreaker target that you really want. Faker now sitting at about half health, probably wishing that he had a Warmock's armor at this stage, but has teleport available, so it's no worries. Cuzz feels invincible, and that's because he basically is. Alright, caught out of position is Pyosik, as there's the Ornn, but Canna picks up that kill before it can even do anything. Cuzz running after Deft, and there is nothing stopping him from doing exactly that. The wish finally goes out, and that is going to spell the end of this game in its entirety. They are too tanky, they are too strong, and Soraka is absolutely busted. Nothing the Rakan can do. Chovy running for the fountain and asking for round 2 when they can finally find the ban button on this pesky Soraka champion. T1 will start off the series versus DragonX 1-0. Cuzz down to business on this Nexus. They are corralling both of the older players on this DragonX team. Deft just gets 2 popped by Teddy, and then he finishes off the Nexus. A well-deserved win by T1, and I want to give the MVP to Coach